Well, the process I follow is basically, this is a lifetime occupation, and I have a small studio, and I always have some paper or canvas up and some paints lying around. And each day when I'm in there, I may be working on recordings and things because I like, I work on audio work. But I like to draw, and so I will, maybe just make a mark or something, or I have some notion, or there's a whole bunch of red or green, and I think, well, we'll put that up there, and that really is what suggests a direction, or not. I mean, it's the trick for me is really to get moving, get something on there, and I do. I work in sort of long series that sort of slowly evolve, and it's about what goes on during life, or if I go somewhere, or I have my grandkids are in there and they're drawing on the stuff as well, and I let them do that as well because if I like it, I leave it up and don't just paint over it. It's not a problem, and so they're involved in it, and they become these sort of long processes. Well, I mean, the titles that I used in this show will come from a trip I made to Australia, although these are not necessarily about Australia. I just happen to like the names of some of the towns because they were different from the towns here, and I really liked a lot of the different colours and things there, although I ended up darkening them all down once I got them up there because they were all way too bright for me. And I mean, they're finished when they're finished. I mean, I'm not really sure when. I mean, I work these things continuously, and at some point, I go, okay, that's where I'm going with that. Put it down, and immediately up goes 3 more sheets of paper or canvas or whatever, because that's the space I have for it. And then I just continue with the next one, which may appear to be a continuation of the last one. But they change, and they move. And I like working in threes. They're not necessarily always triptychs when they're threes, but they may, they relate, And then there are times that I'll, go through the stuff that I have and just pull them out, put them back up, and they may go up upside down or whatever, and I'll look at them and decide, well, this is going to go somewhere else, and I'll start reworking it. And often, I remember years ago when I was a kid, I used to think I could paint out all the bad bits and put in some good bits, because what happens is as soon as you touch it, everything else doesn't work, so you end up redoing the whole thing. I use a lot of just kind of layering and sanding. I use sanding blocks, sand it back down again, bring some of the stuff back out. But because sometimes I look at it and go, what was under there? And you sort of sand down and go, oh, I remember that. And in fact, now it's really good peeping through that way, And it may stay or may not stay. So it's, for me, it's a sort of a process of, or discovery and losing it, and finding it, and losing it, and finding it, and losing. And, and then at some point you go, okay, well, that one seems to work for me. I mean, so it's done. And I may not see it again for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. I mean, this last set, I just got onto this whole sort of, this whole series, and I was really kind of interested in just sort of following it through, and they all started with black pages, and the reason they were black was not because it was, I know the old trick of painting in black and stuff from art school from when I was a kid, but I had bought a gallon of black gesso from a friend of mine, Bill Porteous, about 10 years ago, and it was sitting there, and I went, and I opened it, it was, okay, so there it is. And so that's why I used that. If it had been white, I would have used white. If it had been grey, I would have used grey, So that's basically what I do,